Hello, dear sports family. Welcome back. I am so excited for today's interview. It's our first football interview, so very much a long wait. Today we have Kyler Jordan. Kyler Jordan was an outside linebacker from Lubbock, Texas. He attended Lubbock Cooper High School, where he helped his team to a Class 5A state semifinalist in 2021 and was named 2021 District Co-MVP. This past season, Kyler redshirted after seeing action in 3 games. Kyler, thanks for coming today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course.
Yeah, great to be here.
Yeah, okay. Freshman year of college, how's it going?
Okay, I mean, it's going good. It's definitely got its ups and downs. It's different from high school for sure. Classes haven't been too much of a shock yet, I guess, but it's good. It's definitely, football's a lot different. It's a lot different here than it is in high school, but it's good. I love it. I'm glad I'm here.
Good, that's awesome. So you came in this summer, right?
Yes,
so
yes.
How was that first time? I know it was like you're taking school, but you're not.
The summer was definitely a little tough. Just there's a lot of like intro stuff that you got to do with the like character formation, stuff like that on top of the workouts, and you're just kind of getting used to it, getting used to all the guys, kind of introducing yourself and trying to, feel it out a little bit. But it was good. It was good. Good experience.
Yeah, awesome. So kind of walk us through your recruiting process. I know football is very much like out of high school playing volleyball. It was always club volleyball is like kind of your recruiting. But how did you get connected to Baylor? Other offers? I know you're from Lubbock, so I'm sure Texas Tech was like a big pull for you. What was kind of like your process like?
Okay. So I really didn't start getting recruited until kind of the end of my junior season, and then so I guess that was probably the January after my junior season. It kind of hit off pretty quick. Baylor was like one of the first people that really showed interest in me, so just there was always just a loyalty there. Yeah. I remember I think Rice was the day after, and then it was I think Tulsa. Tulsa was actually my first one, and then Baylor came in. So Tulsa was probably like more towards the end of that week. Baylor was like, it was a Thursday or Friday, and then Rice was on a Saturday or Sunday, and it was just, I don't know, I remember the phone call saying that I got an offer from Baylor, so, because, I wasn't really sure if I was measurably good enough to, play at a Power 5 school, and so I vividly remember the call, and it was like, I don't know, you're given a full scholarship to play, and it was just so surreal. It was everything that I ever worked for, and it was just like dang, I actually did it, But yeah, so that happened, and then really the next couple weeks was just super chaotic. Just people texting me left and right. And that was kind of like towards the end of COVID, kind of, so people still weren't. It wasn't a whole lot of in-person stuff, so it was. A lot of people want to do virtual visits and calls, and it was like homework. And I was playing baseball at the time, and it was just super chaotic time. But it was also like one of the biggest blessings of my entire life. Yeah. So,
were you recruited by Aranda, or was it Rule, or?
I was recruited by Aranda, and actually Coach McGuire. Coach McGuire was one of the big recruiters for me.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
That's awesome. So you said you played baseball as well.
Yes.
Was that a pool? Did you think about that at all?
I loved baseball, but I was honestly towards the end of my high school career, I was kind of, I think it's time to go straight football. Baseball was definitely one of the first loves of mine, and for the longest time, I thought baseball was going to be my brightest future.
Okay.
So the whole baseball recruiting thing is kind of crazy as it is.
Yeah,
so I was playing club in the summers with the team out of San Angelo.
Okay.
Just for, more exposure. There was a few of us from Lubbock. We had a kid from Waco. We had a kid from Houston. Just kind of all over the place, just for exposure. And I had talked to a few colleges early, kind of the summer before my sophomore year of high school, and so I was like, it looks like baseball may be it for me. And then sophomore year came around, we were playing baseball. So this was right, like the tournament right before COVID like really hit, like quarantine, all that good stuff. So I had a back injury that it was really gonna set me back. I probably wouldn't have been able to play baseball my entire sophomore year. So that was a real shock for me, and me and God definitely had a few words then, and just kind of trying to figure out my future, and
it's tough.
Eventually rounded the corner, and then start getting into football season, and then I had a really good junior year, and then the rest is history. I mean, here I am.
That's awesome. So, I feel like junior year is really like a big pivotal point, especially just for like male sports of like, I feel like that's a big thing for baseball, big for football, like very high recruiting.
100%.
What position were you in baseball?
I played first.
Okay.
Yes.
Fun. That's awesome. So you were just back and forth training with both?
Yeah, that was training for football during baseball season was definitely
it's
definitely
a different
tough.
Type of shape.
Definitely tough.
That's awesome. Did you ever consider going outside of Texas? Did you want to stay in Texas? What was kind of
I think I wanted to stay in Texas.
Okay.
I think I was willing to definitely leave the state if that was my opportunity to play. More than anything, I wanted to play. I wasn't done, so just blessed enough to be able to stay in Texas and still play the game that I love.
That's awesome. Okay, so go through summer, get to fall, season hits. How was your first season? I know it's always kind of a big, and you mentioned it earlier, of like just the physicality of the game changes. It's faster pace. I know for volleyball, I was like, I need a helmet. I'm going to get knocked out. Like everything's so fast. So kind of like, how was that change for you for your first season?
It was definitely a roller coaster. There's just every day it felt like there was an up or a down, and just kind of trying to navigate what your role is on the team, like what do I need to do to move up, and just things of that nature. So just kind of tackling the mental side of it was probably one of the biggest parts for me. Just I mean, my whole life pretty much football was just so natural to me. And I mean, I always worked hard, but it just came a lot easier. So just whenever I got here, there's just so much work that had to be put in to get to where I wanted to be. And so really just kind of navigating the waters and trying to figure out where I needed to improve to actually get on the field. So, but it was good. I got to play on special teams.
Okay.
Like actually play on special teams for the bowl game. So that was like the biggest highlight, and it felt like a reward.
Yeah.
Just awesome. For working, and it felt so good to play football again.
I kind of felt the same way of like, you're practicing, game time, it's like, okay, this is the time, but it's truly learning to like find your role, know where you are on the team. Is there anybody on the team that you felt like poured into you, like you were able to like talk to, anyone on staff? Because I know it's kind of like you talked about, like it's a very big mental game that you have to conquer.
100%. Coach Aranda's just he's such a good dude, and just he would always check on us when he could. I mean, I can only imagine how crazy his life was in the fall, just like all of us, and a bunch of the assistant guys, even the strength coaches, everybody wants to see you succeed. So awesome. It was just really cool. And Bryson Jackson, who may be coming back for another year, he was such a blessing to me, just pouring into me. Whenever I needed criticism, he was there, and whenever I needed just somebody to talk to, he was always there. So just a really big blessing to me. And I can't not say anything about Dylan Doyle either. He was just, ever since I got there in the summer, he was just always just texting me, "What are you doing? You want to come watch film with me?" And just like including me whenever he didn't have to, and just pouring knowledge, whether that was football or just life. Just some great guys. Super blessed. Yeah,
that's awesome. I feel like I always talk about them, like AJ, Emily, and Bree were the seniors when I was freshman, or I guess they were juniors when I was freshman. And just being able to live with them, just walk through life with them, and just how like they poured into me. And it's such a big deal to have people on your team that are willing to take those freshmen and like bring them with you, because it's so easy to have that separation and just kind of go down your own path. I feel like that just is what builds program, and honestly what makes Baylor so special is that I feel like every team you talk to, it's kind of like, oh no, like we love our freshmen. Like we actually care on them and want them to succeed. So that's
100%,
great.
100%.
Yes. Okay, so last season, compared to kind of the season before, obviously not the same results, definitely ups and downs, but how do you feel like that is translating into y'all's training now for next season?
I think as a whole, all the guys are just, they're hungry again. Like I wasn't here the year before, so I don't really know what kind of the vibe was, but this last year I just felt a lot of I don't know, like I want to be here, but just a lot of pressure because we weren't putting on what we needed to, and so just kind of the vibe was just super super up and down. But I feel like this off season, a lot of the guys are coming together. People are starting to take on bigger roles, and just everybody's just shows up every single day ready to work. And we all feel like this is the time where this is going to decide what our season is. So I just think looking at all those guys just showing up every single day and attacking it like it is a game in the fall it's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, because y'all are in 8-hour weeks right now, right? Have y'all hit 20 yet?
I think it's 8.
8, yeah. Okay, yeah. We hit 20 on Tuesday, and so kind of like that change of pace of like, okay, guys, like, yeah, it's February, but like, where do we want to be in December kind of mentality. And so I think that's great of just like continuing, like taking that feeling from last year of like, it didn't sit well at all. It didn't feel great. And so to carry that into training, I think it's hard to do. To like want to show up every day. And I know for us, it's, I'm up at 5 every day for 6:15 workouts. Like it's a grind. And so like remembering that feeling and taking it with you, I think is like props to y'all, because it's hard to show up every day.
100%.
It's tough. So what is like walk us through your day to day? What's your schedule? Like wake up to go to bed.
Okay. Today was super, super easy. I just had one class and then workouts and then pretty much homework and dinner and then more homework if you got it. But, Wednesdays are days that we don't work out, but I've got 5 classes on those days, so those days are long. Starting next week, it's all going to pick up a little bit for like 2 weeks before spring break, and then we'll come back and it'll be spring ball, so it'll really pick up during spring ball. But so tomorrow got an 8 a.m., which kind of sucks, but so probably just wake up at 6:30ish. I try to read a little bit every morning. Usually it's the Wall Street Journal, just kind of trying to learn a little bit about what's going on. But so I'll do that. I'll either do that at the bank while I'm eating breakfast or on the way, because we have to park at the Farrell now and then take a shuttle. And so there's a little bit of downtime in there. So do that, go to class. I got a class from like 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, and then 11 to 12. And then I've got workouts at 1:30. Okay. And then after that, I'll try to go upstairs and watch a little bit of film. Probably watch some over TJ Watt tomorrow.
That's awesome.
I love watching him.
Yes. Is that your favorite player?
100%.
Really?
100%.
That's awesome. Being from Houston, big JJ Watt.
Oh yeah.
Always.
Oh yeah. I know he retired. It's sad,
good for him. He had a great career.
Oh yeah. So. Oh yeah. He seems like such a good dude too. So
yeah, it was always like a big pride thing of like, we have JJ Watt. Like the Texans may suck, but we have JJ Watt. 100%. So we're fine.
100%.
That's
I
awesome.
totally agree.
Good. No, yeah, I feel like the schedule, it's like sometimes can be so nice to like have everything always planned and like you're going and you're good, but then like I'm like I want a break. Like I just need to breathe. So that's so good that like you're so disciplined and like kind of finding like smaller times of like in the morning of like, let me read, let me do this, because you're a finance major, right? You're not like a journalism.
Yes.
So that's awesome that you're wanting to kind of like just learn something? Or how's finance going? I mean,
It's good, honestly. I'm super interested. I'm like very eager to learn more about it, honestly. I've kind of always had an interest in just investments and how like the whole investment world kind of goes around. So it's been really cool, especially since we get free subscriptions to all that stuff, so I don't have to pay for it.
That's awesome.
So it's been really fun. I can't wait till I get to take real finance classes in the fall.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. It's exciting. So you talked a little bit kind of about like the vibe of last season, kind of trying to change it. I was able to go to Sikkim 365, had a breakfast with Aranda and Grimes and Powledge, which was just like so awesome just to hear them speak about last season. I feel like Aranda took a lot of, honestly, blame for last season, which I thought was very kind of cool to see. I feel like a lot of the times coaches will say like, oh, like our players could have done this, or like strength of schedule or whatever. But I feel like he took a lot of blame for like player development of like, we tried to give this guy another chance or like tried to do this. And so it was just really cool to see how he's such a like person over player type of coach. Could you just speak maybe like more to that, or like how that's like kind of coming to life this off season or anything like that?
100%. I think starting this off season, we've started to I think we're holding guys more accountable for what they're doing outside of football. You know, like if you're missing class, it's punishment. If you're missing meals, you got punishment. And it's just getting into that routine of discipline, and just like it's day in and day out. And the way that Coach Aranda's kind of instilled it in all of us is the way you do anything is the way you do everything. So
That's good.
he's thinking if you're going to work hard whenever you're up here, you're going to work hard in your classes, and just the constant grind is where it's won, and not necessarily on the football field, but like kind of like a mindset thing. Yeah. And I think Coach Aranda's he's so smart, and like I just love his philosophy of he really harps on the person over player. And I know that like that probably people see it and they're like, yeah, okay, everybody tries to, you know, but I feel like Coach Aranda and all the people that he has working for him they genuinely feel like that, and they're doing whatever they can to make us better people in the process of making us good players. So
for sure. That's awesome. I mean, like football will end one day, you know, and that's so crazy to think about now, especially I'm sure as a freshman, but like I love how he says like, however you do anything is how you do everything. Like that's so good, because it's so true. Like you have to be so disciplined, and it's like however you attack one part of life, that's how you're gonna attack the other way. So that's great. I don't know. It's always encouraging to hear. That's like I'm always so interested in like how other programs are like trying to do this or.
100%.
That's awesome. So you've talked a little bit kind of about your faith. I know we're both going through iDisciple right now, which is so cool. iDisciple is basically just kind of like it's 7-week program, 8-week program. Meet once a week and just kind of discuss about how we want to lead our teams more in like a faith-based way, just kind of like faith-based principles, more of just kind of like leadership principles, which I think is really cool, especially at a place like Baylor. I think that's awesome. They get to teach us that. How has that been going, one? And then two, do you want to share a little bit of like your testimony, kind of your story? I know you've mentioned it a little bit.
Oh yeah. iDisciple, it's been really cool. It's led by one of the heads of sports ministry, John Maurer. He's been awesome, and just he knows what he's talking about, and just super wise, easy to talk to. Just feel really comfortable learning from a guy like John. And just a little bit about me. I was grateful enough to grow up in a home where faith was the forefront of everything that we did. So really, I don't necessarily think that I maybe saw it then, but I see it now. Yeah. And I'm just so blessed by the parents that God gave me, and just the example that they've set for me to follow in their footsteps, and just everything that they did for me. And God's done so much for me. I 100% wouldn't be here without him. There was so much, I mean, just growing up playing sports, so many injuries, setbacks, you know, just stuff like that. The injuries start when you're so young too, and it's like, I don't know how much longer I can do it, you know, and just God's the reason I'm here, and there's no doubt in my mind.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's such a cool way that, like, one, like, I kind of feel the same way, like, so blessed to be able to be raised in, like, a Christ home, but then to get to college and kind of, like, oh, wow, like, this is not everywhere, like, to have a better, like, appreciation for it and to be more thankful, I think is really cool. And then, like, with the resources that Baylor is providing, it's just awesome of being able to learn how to lead in a Christ-like way, but also, like, still going to win games.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, we're still here to win.
100%.
But to do it the correct way, if you would.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Exactly.
So whenever I interview somebody, I put questions up on the forum. And so Baker's Dozen asked, what do you think your greatest attributes are as a player?
Okay. I'd say probably most of all is my love for the game and just effort. When the ball snaps, I'm gonna give 110% no matter what I'm doing, and that's just kind of how I was taught to play football, and that's how the game's supposed to be played. So from snap to whistle, just playing as hard as you can. Yeah, I think those are the biggest aspects of my game.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's your favorite, like, attribute about yourself as a person?
Okay. Probably I'd have to say probably just integrity. I feel like sometimes I may be a little too honest, maybe, but really just being transparent, and especially with the people you're close to, because you don't want to have friends that don't really know what's going on with you and where they can't tell if something's wrong or not. So I feel like I try to do a somewhat decent job of just being honest and where I'm at. If I need help, I ask for help, and if I need help but I'm scared to ask for help, find somebody, you know. But I feel like that's probably one of the best attributes.
That's awesome, because that's tough.
Oh, 100%.
It's always hard. I feel like that's one thing that I had to learn coming to college, was like, it's okay to ask for help. Like, it's okay to, like, lean on other people, because we are just so busy and life's 100%. Crazy. But yeah, that's 100%. Awesome. Okay, so for our last question, I ask everybody this whenever they come on. If you were to write a letter to sports, what would you say and why?
Dear sports, I just want to thank you for making me be disciplined when I don't want to, and giving me a feeling for just what it means to have character, and what it means to work hard, what it means to show up, what it means to play for somebody next to you, what it means to live for somebody that you're maybe not around all the time, just what it means to be human, and most of all, a son of God. And just no matter what's going on, at the end of the day, God is always waiting for you, and you may have the worst game of your entire life, but you may go to bed that night and God's always there. So most of all, just want to thank sports for making me the person that I am.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for coming on today. I really appreciated it.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you for watching Dear Sports with me, Faith Lynch. I hope you enjoyed that interview. It was so much fun to finally get a football player in. Make sure you go and follow us on Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, Twitter, all the things Dear Sports to stay updated. And until next time, this is Faith Lynch with Dear Sports.